Well, hi everybody. Long time no see. I just thought I was starting to really think about my quarantine teaching life, and I was like, you know what? I really miss vlogging what I'm doing. So I decided to pick up the camera and start filming again. So if you haven't seen this channel before, it's like me just randomly vlogging whatever teaching stuff I do. I teach first grade now. All of my previous videos were at my old district and my old school, so you'll see a different classroom, but I am still a first grade teacher. My name's Kat, by the way, if you don't know. And I just kind of thought, oh, I'm in school today for like some cleanup stuff and packing up some student materials. So maybe I'll just do a hi and a check-in and kind of show you my new room. So the last time I vlogged was almost 2 school years ago, I guess, technically. So it was about a year and a half ago, but it was at the beginning of my third year of teaching. And right now I'm at the end of my fourth year of teaching. So kind of a lot has changed, really. Um, I've changed districts, I've changed classrooms, of course, I've moved house, um, and now here I am. So I kind of wanted to just say hi, and I'm really excited to kind of come back. I'm getting all these creative ideas for like teaching stuff I could do while I have this sort of like downtime through the end of the school year while everyone's closed and quarantined and stuff like that. And I also thought I'd just do like an introduction and kind of show you around my room that hopefully I will have next year. So I've been at school a few times since everything's closed. It's very, scheduled, and you can only go in for so long and you can only go in on certain days. So there's like not that many staff members here, but I am here today for a little bit, probably just enough to show you around, and because I finished packing up now. But I wanted to show you my new classroom. So if my old school and like all of the other videos on this channel were at a very old building. They were like, it's a 90-year-old building. I had like these nasty orange carpet. Everything was very outdated. This is quite the opposite here, I will say. It's a school that's only like 7 or 8 years old. The building is, that is. And it's definitely different. And it's cool. I love it. It's definitely a different experience. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a while. But let me go ahead and I'll take you on a little tour around the room here. So here is where I was just talking to you. You can see like there's these beautiful big windows. Here's my classroom door, and it kind of goes out into like a shared space pod with all of the other first grade classes. So there's like this area for volunteers to work with kids, or run small groups or anything like that. And then there's 4 rooms in this pod. So there's my room, and then there's one over there, and then 2 over there. But that's not my room. But so I come in. There's these big windows. There's a window into the pod. There's all of this like these cubbies, which is great, but it's also not usually quite enough for every student. So sometimes there's like a little bit of sharing. I have all this storage up here, and like right now, I think I have like maybe like half of them full, and that's just stuff that was left in this room from last year that I ran out of time over the summer to go through. So I have like a ton of storage. I don't even have things in half of them. And then I have, look at these gorgeous windows. I love my view. It's so bright and natural light in this room, which before I had a lot of natural light as well, but it was like looking out into the parking lot, and it wasn't like, and like the lighting overhead was like kind of yellow, so it was okay, but it wasn't great. So it's just nice to see like some nature over there. You can see all my sad desks are already cleaned up because we've had to come in and like pack up all the student materials, even though it's only May. I've had to pack up everything, so it looks really sad. I'm probably going to stack the desks and move them and like clean up and pack up for the summer in a few weeks. Over there you can see my library. There's like a little writing table over here. You can still see some of my writing anchor charts that were up from whatever unit we were working on in March before we closed. I mean, who knows? But yeah, some gorgeous windows. I have like this huge bulletin board, which I will say is kind of awkward. I don't know. I think I'm going to change this for next year. I think I'm going to leave the paper and the border, but I think I want to I don't know, maybe put like a border, like splitting it in half or splitting it into sections so there's like clear spots for anchor charts. This is where I hang the kids' effort tags, which is kind of like, brag tags if you've heard of them. They're like a management kind of system, positive reinforcement and stuff like that. But I'd like to have more space for anchor charts and a little more clear. This is my kind of corner. Still looking very cluttered. I have not been much since school closed, so like I feel like I don't even almost recognize this place in some ways, but I don't have a teacher desk, so like usually here is where my computer is, and then like my smart board and stuff like that. And I usually do a lot of work here, and then this is where I mostly sit with my small groups, and then I have some room back there for like my planner, and there's like where I lay out the week and stuff like that. So this is kind of my cluttered little corner over here. Over here is kind of our smart board where we do a lot of our learning at the carpet in first grade. Look at this cool carpet I got. I got this off of Zulily last summer for like, I mean, it was expensive. It was like $100 or 120, but I love it. And it's so nice and comfortable. And of course, it's like curling up at the end, but it's better than what I had before. And then I have, look, our class rules that we agreed on together, our active listening chart. It's so weird to be back, and it's kind of really sad to see. I mean, it's like, it's good in some ways that it's like, okay, we're all healthy, we're all at home, like things are going well with remote learning, but it's also so weird to me to be back and see how empty it is. It has been like a whirlwind of a year, and I'm sure I'll talk about that more. Anyway, back to the tour. Whoa. Yep, there's like my chair. Usually right here in this big empty space is where I have my big stand-up whiteboard, but I had to bring it home for like videoing at home, so I dragged that home and I video at home now, but it's kind of an empty spot now. Usually my little corner. Look at my nice cupboard that's just shoved open. I'll go close that. But that's where I keep my math manipulatives and things like that. And there's just there's just so much storage. Like I don't even have this much stuff anymore. I feel like I've gone through things. So then it's like this big storage bit, math manipulatives, storage containers, all my like curriculum and stuff like that. And there's a sink, and then that's it. I think like by far probably my favorite part is like the windows, and it's just so natural. It's also bigger. Well, maybe it's not bigger than my other room, but it's just like a little more like designed with kids being here in mind, I think. Yeah. But like I said, it's been a whirlwind of a year. So this is my first year in this different district. So like, here's some background. I student taught in first grade and then got hired for my first year of teaching in the classroom I was in previously. So in all my other videos, that classroom I taught. So I did my student teaching for a year, and then I was in that classroom for 3 years as a first grade teacher as well. So that was like always my room. That was always my experience. That was the school I knew. That was the district I knew. So it was like, I knew everything. It wasn't like a big adjustment. It was, a really actually great start to teaching in general. So at the end of my 3rd year, my fiance and I were deciding to kind of like move a little closer to where he works. So he kind of works in the city. We were both commuting a long ways, and we're like, we gotta figure this out. This is not going to work forever. So I, applied and got a job in this current district. And luckily I'm still teaching first grade, which I'm so happy about because first grade is my happy place. I love it. I think I'd be happy if I taught first grade for the rest of my life, which I know probably won't happen, and probably, I'm sure there's other grades I love too, but it just felt really good to be in first grade. But it's a different, dynamic. It's a much bigger district than before. It's a slightly bigger team. There's 4 teachers, first grade teachers instead of 3 before, but it's, younger teachers, which is kind of cool. So we all kind of still are having new ideas and bringing them to the table and kind of, doing a lot of things together, which is nice. So that's been really great. My team's grown, like it feels really good to be like doing like completely different things that I'd ever done before and hearing ideas that I had never heard before. It just has been a super refreshing year, like professionally, just hearing all these different ideas that my team has and, other people have. There's a big difference in, my previous district and my previous school was a very, very low income, Title I, 65% ELL kind of a district, which was great. It meant a lot of like remedial reading, but I really, really, really loved that experience as well. A lot of families did not speak English as their first language, all of that. And here is a lot of, like the opposite. I mean, there's a lot of like English language learner students, but they're much higher. They're speaking 2 or 3 languages at home, so they're like a lot more proficient in things. It's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. Like around here, a lot of families are better off like financially, and they have a lot more, background and understanding of the public school system, and they really advocate for their kids, which is really, really cool. It's been really nice, but it's just been such a adjustment thinking about the different kids. Like before in reading, I didn't get to a whole lot of like comprehension teaching in first grade when I was in a low income district. It was more like, I don't want to say remedial, but it was a lot more like, explicit phonics instruction and repeat exposure to different patterns and, things like that before focusing on comprehension. And here it's kind of like, I got a whole gamut of children from students needing that kind of extra practice with phonics all the way up to, okay, like we're reading not only like a Magic Treehouse chapter book, we're working on a more challenging chapter book in comprehension and, pushing you in your writing and talking about paragraphs and things like that. So it's been I'm glad I'm in the same grade because it's been like, I can see the next step for a lot of these things that I never really got to in my lower income district, but it's been an adjustment. It's been really fun. It's been more like on the spot, like teaching and like extensions, which is like kind of fun for me to see that I can do naturally. But yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. It's totally like I have parent volunteers every day of the week, which is awesome. I mean, I have parents, wanting, it's great. It's really different though. And hopefully this next year, I should be in first grade again, hopefully in this classroom. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't just do this tour and now have to like go to a different change. Oh gosh, move my classroom this summer. No, thank you. I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, so that's just kind of an update, and I hope you like it's kind of cool to see the room. I know I'm actually really, really feeling excited about, kind of doing more teaching videos here. I have some ideas of things that I could do, like kind of in my downtime while I'm teaching, remotely and talking about what distance learning looks like here. And then I also have some ideas like, just like casual fun videos that I could do as well. So it might not all be teaching related, but, just kind of an update about where I'm at and trying to get back into the vlogging game and saying hi and updating you on where my life is. But I think for now I'm going to go. Hopefully you'll see another video from me in the next, week or 5 days or so. So I hope you stick around. Bye.